You're already warm then. That jump shot's flowing.
Hi, I'm David Marine here at the show floor of the Consumer Electronics Show at the Coldwell Banker Smart Home Showcase, and I'm joined by Jeff Lyman of Vivint, who's the Chief Marketing Officer. Thank you for coming by today.
My pleasure.
And Vivint at the CES this year has made some new announcements about some new product integrations that you guys are offering.
Yeah,
Can you tell us about that?
You bet. So we're here at CES for the first time. We built an entire smart home here on a trade show floor, and it's been a really great experience. A few huge releases for us. One, two kind of landmark partnerships for us. One with the Amazon Echo, and bringing that voice experience into smart home has been amazing. If you think about all the robustness that smart home offers, connected locks, lights, cameras, thermostats, monitoring security, etc. A lot of it still requires you to pull out your phone or go to a panel or a display. And what Alexa enables you to do is just use your voice. So imagine you're in the kitchen, you're making meatloaf, which is a dirty job.
It is, okay? But it's a good job.
And someone's at the front door, or you want to turn down the temperature, or you want the monitor to show you the basement camera to see what the kids are up to. All you have to say is, Alexa, show me the front door. Or Alexa, turn the temperature to 72 degrees. And just being able to use your voice and not have to either pull yourself, your hands, anything away from the busyness of whatever you're doing in a place like the kitchen, super convenient and really sort of unlocked a lot of really cool experiences enabled by that amazing product. Amazon, great partner. They really sort of opened the hood of sort of the capabilities of what Echo can do. And so that's been awesome. And in addition to that, we expanded our partnership with Nest. And so we offer the Nest Learning Thermostat as part of our comprehensive smart home offering. It marks the first time you can actually use your voice to control a Nest. So you use your Echo and you tell it, and then through the Vivint platform, which we've built and connect best-in-class products to, you can control a Nest thermostat, and that's been really cool as well.
That is. I'm a fan of Amazon Echo. I just got one for Christmas. So the voice automation or the voice commands actually simplifying the smart home process makes complete sense. And at Vivint, you're offering almost an operating system of smart home products. And you've introduced the doorbell camera last year, and now the Vivint Ping camera as well. How do you see that ecosystem of products evolving or playing a role in making homes smarter?
Yeah, it's growing, and there are so many verticals coming on board, whether it's water management, whether it's air quality, extending out to vehicles, etc. So what you need is a simplified platform that makes it easy. If you're a customer and you're walking down the aisles of a big box retail environment, and you're trying to sort through Z-Wave, Zigbee, Wi-Fi, this protocol, it's a mess. And we've got over 1 million customers now and a lot of momentum, and the formula that's worked for us is you've got to make it simple. And so, the right choices of the best of breed verticals across each of those things, and then just making it really simple by professionally installing for that customer. So they can hang out and watch Jeopardy while you do the hard work of changing locks, which most of America has never done. Changing a thermostat, which most of America has never done. Changing a doorbell, so it's now a connected doorbell camera that no one's ever done. These are intimidating kind of DIY exercises that if you want to get, I think, to really get in mass, you've got to bring people into that conversation and simplify it. That kind of help to do the work for you. And then I think the other piece of it that's really key is pricing. To get something that starts to get out to comprehensive, every one of these smart home devices is between $150 and $300. Well, you start to add a lock and some lighting and a camera and a thermostat and a hub for all that, and you're quickly into $1,500. And so when someone moves, which is certainly your audience, you know how many thousands of dollars of costs are associated with moving. I'm packing up things, I have to buy new furniture to fit the house, I have to cancel this thing, I need to move, I need all of these things, right? So the last thing they need is to spend another $3,000 on home automation. So our whole model is basically to do all of that for free up front. Maybe a $99 activation fee, and then to offer them smart home as a service over the life of when they live in that house. So the packages start around $39.99, and they can kind of work their way up from there, but it allows them to kind of remove the hurdle of big cost up front, to have something that is sort of approaching comprehensive in the way of smart home rather than just getting a single camera or a single other object.
You're now getting a full suite of smart home products, and smart home has almost become a DIY badge of honor for some consumers. Like, oh, I got this device and I installed it myself. But the professional install actually adds some peace of mind to it and simplifies the equation a bit, which I think is great. The one question that some of our customers have, and our agents as well, is there a difference between the smart home technology that people in more luxury type of homes are looking to install versus perhaps the everyday homeowner?
Where it impacts size of home, you want to make sure that you're selecting a provider that scales, right? And so the Vivint model, anywhere from 1,000 square feet to 10,000 square feet, we're fine, and even sort of beyond there as well. I think what you see in that higher end is more cameras, potentially more zones, so more thermostats, and a sort of higher upfront investment in smart home peripherals. But beyond that, you just want to make sure that you get to a provider that really sort of has that range. And I think if anyone's really going to, continue to get traction in this growing smart home market, you're going to need to be flexible. And you're going to need to work with small footprint houses, which are becoming more and more sort of popular. And you're going to need to be able to sort of scale out. They'll continue to choose that value, especially if it means I'm not shelling out thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars up front.
Now, what some people may not realize is you've actually outfitted one of the largest homes in the entire country already, and that is the Vivint Smart Home Arena, which is home to the Utah Jazz of the NBA. So from doing that and trying to create that arena into a smart home, if you will, and a better experience for Utah Jazz fans, how do you take that learning and apply it to what you're doing with everyday homeowners?
Yeah. So we're super proud with the partnership with the Larry H. Miller Group, who owns the Utah Jazz. And we have now the naming rights to what is now called the Vivint Smart Home Arena. We looked at a pretty interesting opportunity inside of the arena, actually, to bring smart home technology into the arena experience. And if you think about those suites, for instance, that's a second home. I mean, they're spending 41 to 45 nights in those spaces, and it needs to be comfortable, it needs to be automated, it needs to be simple. So we really looked at three places. One, how could we improve the suite experience for those in the arena? Two, how could we actually improve the locker room experience?
Oh, really?
How could we improve the press row experience? Because they're spending hours and hours there. And then how can we sort of make the concourse smart? If you're walking in and out of a NBA arena, you actually want to know what the fastest way out is. You want to know what the traffic is like on the 5. There's all sorts of the vitals that are alive within that arena, and getting a window into those is actually really, really interesting.
That is super smart, especially with the traffic patterns. And I know leaving stadiums, it's always like, oh, what's the traffic like? Do I need to leave a little bit earlier?
Exactly.
So you're providing that kind of ease of use. Talk a little bit about the locker room. What is it that you're trying to enhance the home field advantage, if you will, of the Utah Jazz?
So we're still in kind of the early parts of sitting down with them, kind of working through all those nuances. Certainly temperature management is something that was super straightforward, but also security. Believe it or not, stuff gets stolen from NBA locker rooms all the time. And so thinking about how you bring smart home technology into those spaces is, I think, a huge opportunity. And a lot of fun for those players, because when they get to work, they want to feel like that's part of their space, and that's really, really comfortable. And that's part of what Vivint does. Great.
Now, Vivint offers a whole line of different facets of smart home technology, from security to thermostat control to just ease of use in living in the home. What do you see in 2016 as being the most interesting smart home trend that you think is going to emerge this year?
Well, one thing that we're particularly bullish on is this evolution of thinking about devices, particularly cameras, as being about surveillance, as being about kind of watching out for the boogeyman, and the one time out of 700 where you're able to catch someone doing something. And what's happening in increasingly numbers is consumers are using these cameras as communication devices. You have two-parent working households, you have single parents, and so they're using these cameras, especially with two-way talk, to be able to get into the home from anywhere in the world. And one thing that we're particularly bullish on is we saw the craziest thing with our doorbell camera. Consumers their children, usually between ages 8 and 12, would go outside the house and hit the doorbell in order to have a two-way conversation with mom and dad. And we were trying to take a step back and say, okay, where is that insight coming from? And when we really dug into it with the ethnography, we found that kids, first of all, around 40% of kids are home alone during some part of the day in the United States. So one, this was a problem. Two-parent working households, single parent, etc. Two, there's a blind spot in your kids' connectivity between 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. About 13 is when they get a cell phone. Okay? They don't have a Skype account yet. They may be home alone. They may be there with a nanny. And landlines are going away. So what is the simplest way to get mom and dad on the phone? And 9-year-olds, they always figure out the easiest way.
That they
you
do.
go to outside and find the one button that just calls mom and dad. And that became the doorbell camera.
Wow.
And so what we brought to market this year was the Vivint Ping camera that took that one-touch call-out idea. I mean, lots of security cameras have had call-in, and we've enabled that as well.
Sure.
But it's really the first one that actually offers call-out. So you're a 10-year-old kid, your ride is outside, and they're honking the horn, and you can't find your soccer cleats anywhere,
Yeah.
and you need to talk to mom. So what's the easiest way to do that? Well, there's a single button. And that's a real kind of insight that we found to be pretty powerful. And so that's where I think one of those real trends is we're going from surveilling to actually connecting with the people and things that matter the most, family members and pets.
You've taken what has been one of the most expensive things for businesses to do and made it so simple in the home, and that's basically you've created video conferencing through the Vivint Ping, which is fantastic.
Yep, and it's called the Ping because it's about a rapid, if you're sitting there waiting for video to load, that's not going to work.
Right.
So think about what text message is to email. It's only to a few people and it's quick. This is really what the Ping is to sort of video conferencing or FaceTime, right?
And
faster and narrow-casted.
Absolutely. I bet if you did a study, you would see that the vast majority of how people are using cameras like that in their home to check on their home is to see what in the world their pets are doing.
Exactly.
Jeff, thanks so much for joining us here at the Coldwell Banker Smart Home Showcase. If you want more information on Vivint, go to vivint.com and be sure to check out more coverage from CES all about smart home technology by visiting ces.coldwellbanker.com.